Hey everybody, welcome to Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
People have been asking for this since 2015 when it came out.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why, but here it is. Darkseid War. The Darkseid War.
I remember this coming out.
Yeah, we were a
vague
channel when
memories
this
of it.
book came out.
Yeah.
And here it is.
Was this New 52?
Yes, it was New 52. It was very New 52.
Uh-huh.
So, like, throw away anything you might remember from, like, the past about literally anything. Even things that I told you existed specifically outside of the multiverse, like the New Gods. You know, like, oh, well, when there's a reboot, you know, it doesn't affect the New Gods, because the New Gods are in New Genesis or Apocalypse, which exist outside the universe. You can't even get there with a conventional method of travel. You need a boom tube to do it. Yeah, screw that, New 52.
There's New Gods in multiple universes.
Or there's just the same New Gods, but they got
they're all
rebooted
different.
too.
But if the reboot was a function of, like, the multiverse, then how do you explain that?
Yeah, and the short answer is you don't. But don't worry, because this book takes great pains to explain it for no reason at all. Because this is from Jeff Johns' run on Justice League, in which the Justice League is awesome and new and cool. We actually did the first volume of Jeff Johns' run on the New 52 Justice League, in which Darkseid shows up, and
Yeah,
he
first appears.
Yeah, they started at 11, and they can never, ever recoup that.
Yeah.
Darkseid is
He's
just
what causes the Justice League to come together, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, Darkseid attempts
Yeah,
to
I remembered
invade.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good call. And every time something came up that went like, that doesn't make any effing sense. It doesn't work on any conceivable level, or it contradicts things that happened, or when have you decided to explain this? Who remembers what, why, and when? They don't even think about it. And that's why I think a lot of people like this book, because they just don't think about it. They're like,
Turn your brain off.
but you have to in order to.
Except they keep trying to shove it down your face, like, what happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
And try to
Like,
explain.
no, it matters.
Try to explain like things you don't understand. Like, okay,
gonna be
Metron.
fun.
Remember Metron?
Yeah, dude in the chair.
Dude
Yeah,
in the
chair
chair,
guy.
Mobius chair, right?
Yeah.
Well, apparently Metron had been like exploring the lost multiverse or whatever, and trying to figure out like what was going on. Because he was rebooted too, or not, depending on your interpretation, but he's younger and cooler looking, and the Mobius chair does different stuff now. So he was rebooted.
Right.
And he found out about like the crossroads of all of creation, where the first being who like found the anti-life equation came from, and all that stuff. Like he basically discovers the anti-monitor. So it starts off in the past. It's on Themyscira, Paradise Island, and this woman, an Amazonian named Marina, is giving birth to a baby, which is rare
Right.
for
You're right.
Paradise Island.
Yeah.
And she gives birth to a girl, which makes sense, but she is the daughter of Darkseid. The idea is that Darkseid discovered during his multiversal dealings, when he was going to different Earths and like trying to conquer them and destroy them, which also includes places like Earth 2 or 3, where the crime syndicate lives. He went there, effed it up, the crime syndicate escaped, and then caused the story that we did called Forever Evil.
Right.
Okay.
Well, they were running from something, and it's like, what was it? Apparently it was the Anti-Monitor and Darkseid, who were embroiled in some kind of like conflict, which would be the Darkseid War, or culminate in such.
Yikes. Okay.
During his dealings, Darkseid discovers that the Amazonians are somehow really like connected to all of this,
They're the key to all of this.
more or less. So he seduces and bangs Marina, and then she gives birth to a woman named Grail. And Grail was used by Marina when she was expelled from Paradise Island for banging Darkseid. And it's
They didn't put the baby to death?
nah, because Marina absconded with her daughter before they could kill them both.
Ah, they were totally going to, though.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
look,
probably they're a warrior race. Like I'm
Yeah.
sure there would have been some discussion about it, but no.
this is not a popular topic, but like, if Darkseid has a kid,
Yeah, I hear you.
So did this happened a while ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because Grail has to grow up to
Kid's gotta
become
be
a
grown
full
up.
woman.
Right. Okay.
Grail is a badass who looks like a female Darkseid.
Yeah.
Slash Amazonian.
Except she's like hot.
Well, yeah, 'cause
Where
she's-
he's like gross.
Right, exactly. So she kept all the cool parts of Darkseid and all the great parts of Amazonian
gray
culture.
skin and
Gray
the
skin
red
and the
eyes.
red eyes and the lasers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is this an Omega
Awesome.
tattoo?
Yes, it is.
For like the Omega beam?
He branded her because like she belongs to him. He chose her as one of his concubines.
I
So
see.
he branded her with an Omega symbol.
And does she like him?
She was
or,
seduced
like,
by
defend
him.
because she's like, no, he's okay, or is she
No.
like, no, he turned out to not be what I thought he was.
Precisely.
Okay.
And it turns out that Mobius is the true name of the Anti-Monitor, and that the Mobius chair originally belonged to him.
Well, yeah.
Oh.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And so if Mobius / the Anti-Monitor regains control over his chair, it means the doom of everybody, because like then he'll have access to all the knowledge and information of the universe.
He'll be unstoppable.
And he'll be unstoppable. Right now he's the Anti-Monitor, so he's only like nigh unstoppable, but like trust me, if he puts his ass in the seat, it's all doom.
Okay. They retcon that his name is Mobius, right?
Oh,
That wasn't always a thing.
absolutely.
Yeah, they just made that
No, it was
up.
always the Anti-Monitor.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
the
he was
Anti-Monitor.
Okay.
And then
And he was always like a robot thing, right?
he was a cool bioorganic creature that then Jeff Johns retconned into being like the avatar for the Sinestro Corps, because the Sinestro Corps'
Yeah,
rings
I
come
remember
from
that,
the
yeah.
Cordians, who are from the antimatter universe.
Right.
And since he's from the antimatter universe anyway, it works out.
Yeah.
Grail has been conditioned by her mother to become a weapon to destroy Darkseid.
Oh, okay.
That's Marina's plan.
Right.
Is to like
Wait,
make up for
what?
her mistake by
Yeah.
by using the child of Darkseid to destroy him.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Scrap my plan from before. Never mind.
Why does she kill? It looks like she kills Metron.
Oh, she does attack Metron. Yes, she doesn't kill him.
Why?
Because
She wants.
Metron's trying to prevent there from being a war between the Anti-Monitor and Darkseid, because like such war could come about the end of everything.
But
Well,
she
yeah.
wants them to fight.
Yes,
Maybe
because
a weakened
she
Darkseid
thinks.
or something.
Well, yeah. Well, she thinks that if the Anti-Monitor can't kill Darkseid, he can at least weaken him to the point
Yeah.
where she can kill him.
Okay. So she's a Machiavellian.
Precisely.
She's not afraid to hurt Metron in order to.
Has she teamed up with the Anti-Monitor for this?
They're in cahoots, but they don't like hang out.
All right.
So anyway,
Okay, they're not gonna like go get like brunch afterward.
certainly not.
Yeah,
You know, they may not even like celebrate an anniversary of their victory.
I see Mr. Miracle is in the
Mr. Miracle is on Apocalypse, of course, the son of Highfather. To Darkseid to try and avert
Yes.
war. Didn't work out. Darkseid's like, screw this kid. He sticks him in the prisons or bowels of Apocalypse. And Mr. Miracle / Scott Free has to figure out how to free himself. And when he does, he eventually learns the skills and becomes Mr. Miracle. The idea here is that like some time has passed. Mr. Miracle has some experience, and let's not talk about like how much or whatever. Let's just assume that like the heroes know who Mr. Miracle is, and that he is married to, in secret, Big Barda, who was with the Furies, the female Furies that were agents of Darkseid on Apocalypse,
Right.
but freed herself through love from Scott Free. And so like they kind of like are fun adventurers a little bit, if you want to believe those stories happened. So
I just got scot free.
right.
I just got
Yeah. There's like a mystery afoot where women named Marina Black are being systematically killed via the Terminator method of like killing people in the phone book with the same name.
it. Okay.
How many Marina Blacks are there?
A couple. because the Justice League finds one.
Yeah.
And so they're investigating her death.
Okay. This is how they get involved.
Uh-huh.
Right.
By the way, there's a couple extra players on the Justice League at this time. Wonder Woman's palling around with the first man to ever stepped on Themyscira, Steve Trevor.
Oh.
He's an agent of a government force, and so he's like useful.
He's on the. He's not on
like
the
a
Justice
liaison.
League though, right?
He
He's just
ain't-
a friend.
Right.
Okay.
He's a specialist.
But he's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
He's a special friend.
so Jessica Cruz, who had been nobody, who had like suffered from a number of like fears and agoraphobia, she was visited by the power ring of the villain from the crime syndicate named Power Ring, which is powered by an entity known as Volthoom, and she got his ring. The ring came to her.
Yeah.
Right.
And so she's like, I'm going to use it, like against its better wishes of like trying to cause harm. And so she's kind of like a cool alternate Green Lantern.
That shouldn't work.
Well, it does, and so she's on the Justice League.
Is she like? Does she have to like fight its corrupting influence,
Kind
or
of.
she just masters it and?
She more or less like masters it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm sure there is a journey that she goes through,
Yeah.
but for all intents and purposes, she's on the Justice League. She is useful.
Right. Okay.
Also, Shazam and Cyborg are there.
They don't have to worry about it. She's going to turn on us at any given moment.
No, they don't.
That's not a thing.
Nope,
Okay.
it's not a thing.
All right.
Shazam and Cyborg are there. Normally, they stay and guard the base, but today they're actually there.
Okay.
Well, we don't need a second Superman.
Yeah.
In Cyborg, you always guard the base.
Right. Also,
You pretty much are the base.
he doesn't become like he's not a transformer.
No,
Lex
but he can
Luthor.
communicate with all technology.
It's true. He also, of course, has new Genesian technology integrated within him, so he can like open boom tubes at will. Lex Luthor and Captain Cold also finagled their assistance in the Forever Evil conflict to become members of the Justice League.
Yeah.
Don't worry about Captain Cold. He literally provides no other supporting, help or role in this story.
In this story, okay.
But Lex Luthor certainly does.
Sure.
So
He's hard to
always you
sideline.
should.
yeah. So Lex is embroiled in a effort to try and cure cancer from a character named Neutron. We're not going to get into it. The point
it a
is
cat?
that
Side plot.
it's a guy. But no, they didn't put him in the Thought Transformer. But
Put you in the bitch transformer.
so Lex and Superman are carrying over this guy named Neutron, and he's like suffering from like horrible cancer, and Lex is like, there's nothing I can do about that. And Superman's like, well, then this is a challenge for you to try and cure cancer. Like he's trying to inspire Luthor to like do good and to like use that big brain of his that he thinks
Right.
is so awesome. I'm a 12th level intellect. Well, if you can use it, then cure cancer.
Right.
Smarty
If
pants.
you're so smart.
Yeah.
Is he not trying to just like get rid of him? Like, just go over there. Here's a problem
Yeah.
that you could like wrap your mind around for
Yeah.
several like weeks, and I don't
Right.
have
Cure
to deal with you
cancer
for
and
a
go
while.
away.
Yeah.
So Scott Free is free from his prison and is like kind of searching through the chambers of Apocalypse to find Marina Black
Okay.
because he knows that she's the key to all of this.
Right. Somehow.
He uses the mother box to try and access that information, and then Darkseid shows up, and he's like, "Hey, what up? You're in my room. I'm gonna mess you up." And he like kicks the crap out of Mr. Miracle, and then Mr. Miracle basically barely escapes by asking the mother box to take him away. He's like, "Get me out of here."
Right.
And then
Okay.
he does, and he leaves. He winds up arriving on Earth, of course. Meanwhile,
Is that for any reason particularly, or
because he needs to be there.
right? The book needs him to be there.
Yup.
So that's why he goes there.
Uh-huh. So Cyborg is letting them know that like the internet's telling him that more Marina Blacks are being killed across the world. So something's going
there's a
on.
lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little lights there.
There's
yeah.
quite a few Marina Blacks, particularly in the continental United States.
And they are very evenly distributed.
Yes.
Well, we really only care about
Despite the
that.
fact
I mean,
that
if
the
Marina
population
Blacks
is
are
not.
being murdered outside the U.S., that's not really our purview.
No, it's true.
Even as the Justice League who defends all of Earth.
So Flash is going to say something, but before he can, some hands reach out of his mouth, and a woman blasts out of his body.
Oh, cool.
And it's Grail.
It's not a skeleton?
No.
His skeleton,
His skeleton just leaps out of his mouth. Yeah.
I ran so fast, my skeleton came out.
Yeah, no, he's just standing there and he's like, "Brr, brr," and then like Grail climbs out of him, and she's like,
Oh, God,
"Hey."
it's the Grudge.
Yeah, she's like, "Let's do this. I'm gonna fight you because you're gonna be in my way."
What?
So she like kicks the crap out of everybody
Okay.
to demonstrate how awesome she is.
Sure. Does she come out of Flash because Flash has something to do with Flashpoint?
I mean,
and
like
that's where all
Jeff
this came
Johns,
from?
this is one of two of his favorite characters of all time, so I'm sure it's connected to like the crises because we're dealing with anti-monitors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, thank God she's wearing a poncho, too.
Yeah, but they never explain like why she chose Flash. She doesn't say like you were the conduit, you're the only thing that like came from that, like you gave your life during the crisis. Nope, just Flash. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
So she does. She kicks the crap out of him. Shazam shows up and he's like, "Screw you! You forgot about Shazam again, like everybody does." And he blasts her, and then he helps Cyborg up. And while he's helping him up, Grail comes up behind him and stabs him through the tummy with one of her crazy like sharp implements of destruction.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, like you're a kid, you poor thing. Like I hate to kill children." And then Wonder Woman snaps up behind her and grabs her. And she's like, "All right, what's going on here? Like explain yourself. Explain yourself."
Right.
And so she
Wait,
blasts.
is Shazam dead? He just got impaled.
No, but he's magic and stuff. All he has to do is say Shazam and he can change or whatever. The
I
point
have
is
the wisdom of Solomon and the healing factor of
Wolverine.
somebody.
He doesn't.
If he transforms, does that like heal all his injuries or something?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it changes his costume too.
I'm assuming she also bursts out of Flash to, like, incapacitate him.
Yeah, she
'Cause
does.
He would just run.
She like cuts him a little bit with her crazy like axe thing, and she's like, "First blood," and you're like, "Oh, cool." Grail's so awesome.
I'm gonna cut everyone else and mix your bloods.
If she was inside him, why doesn't she just like cut her way out of
She
him?
used him as like a doorway because like she climbs out of him, but then like energy blasts out, so it's not like she's technically physically inside.
So she just like spawns at his mouth.
yes.
Or she creates a
Even though
portal
literally
in
he opens his
and
mouth
she-
and there's fingers on his cheeks, and then an energy thing comes out.
Like they're fully formed.
It's just we wanted to have a
just
cool
looks
visual.
fucking awesome.
Yup. And it's
Or
written,
gross.
and it's drawn by Jason Fabek, so it will be
Well,
awesome.
this whole book looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's a sin. So, Superman gets a call. Justice League's getting taken apart by this crazy gray lady. You got to get over here. We
Yeah.
need our Superman. Fake Superman. He screwed the pooch. So we need real Superman. And even you're not real Superman because you're New 52 Superman. So
I'm sorry, I have to make fun of Lex Luthor some more. And
Right.
Get him to cure all these other diseases.
So Wonder Woman like connects her bracers together as Grail blasts kind of like an Omega beam at them, and she destroys Wonder Woman's bracers.
Oh.
You're like, oh crap, she's
no.
powerful. Anyway, so
This is
Superman.
super serial.
Yeah, so Superman and Lex go to his LexCorp area to grab one of his power suits. Because like, if I'm on Justice League, I gotta have a cool power suit.
Sure.
And he reveals that like, I got this new one and it runs on kryptonite. And Superman's like, oh man, Lex, dude, you're
Seriously?
out. You're out of the Justice
You
League.
can make it run on anything.
Yeah. You picked the thing that kills me, you're out. I'm
what?
kicking you
Oh,
out.
does kryptonite damage you? Oh,
I had no
forgot.
idea. I just used it as an efficient fuel source.
Yeah.
It's incredibly useful. Meanwhile, it's like the least efficient fuel source he can.
Yeah. So
he's out.
Yeah, no. So
the
Superman
spot.
kicks him out, and he's like, "Oh, you can't fire me. Everyone on the Justice League has to decide." So he shoots Superman with some blasts from his power suit, thereby cementing the fact that he probably shouldn't be there in the first place. But then he gets shot by bullets by his sister, who was also there.
Bullets?
Yeah.
He's in a power suit. It doesn't stop bullets.
Nope.
Lex Luthor has a sister?
Yes. Lena.
Learning all kinds of stuff. He has a gigantic, like, mechanical
I know.
suit that
And
makes him strong, and
bullets
he didn't make
just-
it bulletproof.
What an oversight. Grail is just picking the Justice League apart.
Yeah. It's going real bad.
Yeah, and then the Anti-Monitor shows up. And you as the reader are like, oh shit, wait a second. The Anti-Monitor, but this is all the reboot. Is this the same Anti-Monitor? He looks totally different from the Anti-Monitor from Crisis on Infinite Earths. And he also looks totally different from the Anti-Monitor who looks like the same Anti-Monitor from Crisis that was in the Sinestro Corps War. He looks nothing like the old Anti-Monitor.
Right.
No, not
Is
at
he a-
all.
but
he doesn't
Is he a
have little
different
horns coming off.
Anti-Monitor?
Is
Are
he-
there two Anti-Monitors?
Is he a reboot of the original Anti-Monitor? Did Infinite Crisis not happen? What is this? So let's not worry about that because they have no attempt to explain it.
Oh, sweet. He's New 52's
Anti-Monitor.
Is
But
he
he
like-
also is like he carries all the cachet of the old Anti-Monitor. He like they want you to see him and go, holy shit, these are some serious stakes because the Anti-Monitor's here and he looks nothing like the old Anti-Monitor and he doesn't act anything like the old Anti-Monitor
Yeah.
and he doesn't do any
So
of the
wait,
things the old
how do I
Anti-Monitor
know
does.
it's serious stakes? He's
Right.
not the same Anti-Monitor.
Yeah.
Because we use the name Anti-Monitor.
Bingo.
Why didn't they just say that New 52 is not connected to any of the other... It's just totally outside everything
know.
you know.
I know.
If they wanted to just do everything
Again. Except they don't want you to do everything again. They want to do their own thing with the old stuff.
How do we have so much awesome stuff if we can't build off of all the stuff that we had?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I know.
You can't just make a new story.
So, anyway, scot-free while the other people are getting their asses kicked. Superman's carrying Lex Luthor's near-lifeless body while Lena's trying to kill him, or at least Lex. The Justice League's getting their asses kicked
Does
by
she explain
Grail.
why she suddenly turns on her brother?
Oh, she says, like, come on. Like, everybody knows that nobody likes Lex Luthor. He's a jerk.
Well, he did just shoot Superman with beam weapon of some kind.
Yes.
So she's like, see, you're bad. You're still
Except
bad.
she's also bad
Oh.
because then she reveals, I've got a mother box too. And mother box, send Lex Luthor and Superman to their end. And the mother box is like, sure. And it teleports them to Apocalypse. So now it's a
Okay.
buddy cop movie where Lex Luthor and Superman have to like traverse the wastelands in Apocalypse. It doesn't last
Okay.
very long, don't worry.
Shouldn't.
So the mother box is wrong. It's not their end because they come back.
Oh, but it should be their end. It's not, the mother box can't predict the future. It just does the best opportunity to screw
I
them
see.
over. And in fact, it does
Why does it just send them into the center of a star?
because it wouldn't be nearly as narratively satisfying. So,
Because for a mother box, the end of everything is on Apocalypse because Apocalypse sucks.
Scott Free begs the mother box to take him away to somebody like friendly, and it takes him to the hiding place of Marina Black, the true Marina Black and mother of Grail, who also has like an awesome one-eyed griffin. And she has been training for decades to kill Darkseid, and now she's ready to enlist Mr. Miracle in her war.
Okay. It's okay.
Superman and Lex Luthor arrive on Apocalypse, and they're like, we're screwed.
Yeah.
They run
nowhere to
into...
go.
No, they bump into a bunch of like,
Also, Lex Luthor should be dying because he was just shot.
yeah, he should. But he's not.
It was a flesh wound. She missed all the major organs.
I mean, it made him fall down and he was bleeding out of all those holes, but let's ignore that for a little
The
while.
mother box cured them for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your death won't be nearly as poetic if you're already wounded.
Right, exactly. So Darkseid sends his minions, which includes people like Steppenwolf,
Yeah.
who is the worst cinematic superhero villain of all time.
Yeah.
But in here
He's
looks
better
kind
here.
of cool.
He does look cool here.
Well,
Well, he's a dude.
He's multiple colors in this.
And, like, his armor isn't part of him.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, Darkseid's like, go kill Superman, and I guess the bald guy too.
Whatever his name is.
Whatever. If we're just going to jump ahead to the Superman Lex Luthor plot,
Yeah.
Supes and Lex are just running across the surface of Apocalypse through like catacombs and whatnot. They're being chased by hordes of parademons and monsters of every kind.
We're all chanting death to Superman.
Yeah, and Superman is like realizing that because he's so far away from the sun, he's losing his powers because apparently he loses his powers faster this time. And Lex is like, you're not gonna be able to survive without me, man. We're gonna have to work together. So like, you're gonna have to trust me. And Superman's like, okay, you're not trying to kill me right now. So they shake hands, and then Lex picks up Superman, flies using his power suit over Apocalypse, and finds one of Darkseid's solar fire pits. And he's like, hopefully this works, and he drops Superman into one of them.
It shouldn't.
And he's like,
Nice.
one way or another, I get what I want. Either you're going to get your powers back and kick ass, or you'll die.
Right.
So he drops him in, and when Superman comes out, he is changed. He is, in fact, inverted in color, and he has his powers back, but he's also totally inverted.
Like his organs are on the outside.
No, I mean like personality-wise.
He's not even just inverted. He's black and white.
Yeah, he
he's,
is black and white, but like it's the inverted color scheme.
He's kind of like a
Like a
film
negative.
you
Yeah,
know.
exactly. So he comes out and he's like, Lex, the only reason why you ever almost beat me was because I was holding back. And now that I don't want to anymore, you're dead.
Oh.
So now Superman's going to go kill Lex Luthor.
So, like, Apocalypse just makes you evil?
If you can absorb the radiation from the planet of Apocalypse and you have the power of Superman, I guess so.
right.
All that
It'll
matters
fuck
is
you up.
it does that. By the way, this whole thing also establishes that like it makes the Justice League into gods. And so everybody gets like changed
Oh.
or altered in some like significant and terrible way that makes them the new gods. You see, you get the new gods thing, but now they're new gods, but new gods of things that are the things that they specialize in. So like Superman is now the god of strength.
Oh, he's not the god of punching? Okay.
Or the god of flight.
Well,
or
no,
laser
it's,
eyes.
it's strength.
He's the god of blowing hot wind.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Superman goes to kill Lex,
Does
and
he
then
call himself that?
no,
Does the book
the
call
book
him
does. Yeah, the
that?
marketing.
Is there a
does.
narrator? Who's deciding these things?
The fucking letterer. Like, there's a whole side thing that has just the spin-offs from this story
jeez.
that show you like what these gods are up to.
So, I get a god of speed.
No, it's not the god of speed. Flash merges with the Black Racer later, and he becomes the god of death
What?
because the Black Racer is death.
Well, yeah, but Flash isn't death.
No, but because he merges with the Black Racer, he becomes.
Yeah, but that's
the
not
god of death.
poetic.
Where
No,
did the Black
Anybody
Racer
could have
come
merged
from
with
this?
someone who is all about death.
Yep. You see how much fun this is? Anyway, so that's
no.
what Superman and Lex are up to on Apocalypse.
Right. Okay.
Meanwhile, Marina is showing Scott around her like quarters, which
Okay.
are, by the way, set up on Athens. That's
Oh.
where she got the Griffin. And
No one cares that she's chilling in
nobody's there.
in the city of Athens?
No. The mythical city of Athens.
Oh, I see.
I was gonna say.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry. I merged reality with fiction. This is the fictitious city of
Where
Athens.
is that physically located? Is that like a planet?
It's more like a dimensional.
Time and place.
It's where like Olympus is. Marina explains to Scott the plot a little bit, where she's like, I figured out that like Darkseid duped me, and we're going to destroy him. So I trained Grail, and she brought the Anti-Monitor here because she knew that he had the power to destroy Darkseid. And Scott Free is like, so wait, you started a war with Darkseid and the Anti-Monitor to try and kill him, and you don't know, because like none of them remember Final Crisis, that like if you kill him, he becomes a black hole that pulls in all reality. But forget that, because that's not what happens this time. And he's like, but like it could destroy everything. And she's like, well, you are going to lose a few.
Right.
But like Darkseid
to kill Darkseid, it's worth it.
We got to kill Darkseid. And I had the impression that you were kind of going to be on my team here, but you're not, so I'm going to fight you.
Is her entire thing is we have to kill Darkseid because he seduced me?
No, it's just kind of like she recognizes that he is evil and
I uniquely know how bad he is.
right.
Because of, what
Because
he
we
put
had
me
sex.
through. What is she not caring about what happens if the Anti-Monitor like wins? And now you have
No.
to deal with the Anti-Monitor?
Nope. Not
Okay.
not so much, no.
All right.
So
The enemy of my enemy
is my friend.
Yeah.
Miracle asks the Mother Box to take him to Friends. And so he's like, just get me to Friends, anywhere! And so it takes him from there to the Justice League.
Okay.
The Anti-Monitor is chilling over the Justice League, who has been more or less picked apart by Grail. And then...
Like the Anti-Monitor wouldn't be bad enough alone.
Right, but we also have this cool emissary of the Anti-Monitor, kind of, and the daughter of Darkseid.
And they're fighting the Justice League. Have they explained why? Is it just because they're like, we don't want you to get in the way
More or
of our
less.
battle that we're going to have?
Yes. So then Wonder Woman's kind of the only person who can face against the Anti-Monitor. She doesn't do a good job. It's just that she's like, it's the only one who's awake.
Right.
And she's like, and she says, "What are you?" So she doesn't recognize the Anti-Monitor,
Right.
thereby laying in more questions for everybody. So
Well, because in this
reality
she hasn't.
she doesn't even remember Crisis or of any kind.
None of those are remembered by our
Yes.
heroes. Yeah. Or apparently anybody.
No, it's true. So then Metron shows up, and he's like watching them. And Grail calls him out, and he's like, well, you're playing a dangerous game. It's pretty bad what you're
Didn't
doing.
she beat him up before?
She did, but then he got better. Metron goes to visit the Justice League, and he's like, hey, you're screwed. Darkseid and the Anti-Monitor are going to fight, and they're going to destroy everything. There's nothing you can do about it.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, come on. Like, tell us what's going on. Like, tell us what to do. Because you have the access to the
why
movies
did you
chair.
come here just to tell us we're screwed?
Yeah, I know.
What the hell's your problem?
And so they basically say, like, since they don't know who the Anti-Monitor is, they don't know how to defeat him.
Right.
Even if they did, they wouldn't be able, whatever.
Yeah, they
So
wouldn't be able to. Yeah.
Wonder Woman lassos Metron and says, how do we defeat the Anti-Monitor? And he says, you can't.
Oh.
And
okay.
she's like, no, you know what? I'm not asking the right questions. How do I get the answers that I'm looking for? And Metron says, you have to take me off the chair. So then she pulls him off the chair, and he's like, no, you don't understand. Now that you pulled me from the chair is going to do what it wants. And then Batman's like, got it. So he jumps on the chair.
Okay.
Then Batman is imbued with all the knowledge of the universe.
Okay.
And he becomes the god of knowledge. Don't pay attention to these titles. They don't matter.
Right.
But people are really obsessed with how cool this is. So that's the only reason why I mention them at all.
Okay.
Then Metron was the god of knowledge the whole time.
Right.
Yeah, but Batman just Wonder Woman helped Batman unseat him
Yeah.
and replace him, supplant him.
Yeah. So Batman is like, I know everything. Let's test it. Who killed my parents? Ping ping, Joe Chill. That's correct. I knew that already. But I didn't know that you knew that. And then he's like, all right, next up, who's the Joker? Like, I need to, come on.
Right.
And he goes, no, that's not possible. And you're like, oh, come on, John, just tell me.
Jesus.
What's up? And he goes, that's not possible. No. And then they're like, come on, man, what's going on? He's like, oh, I've got it. No, don't worry about it. I'm a god now. And so
I remember this, and that was it.
His voice box or his voice bubble changes. Now he's like been corrupted by the Mobius chair.
Right, it's got the same voice bubble as Superman.
Yes.
Black.
Yeah, inverted in
yeah,
color, yeah.
yeah.
So Batman then takes his role as the god of knowledge to kind of like help? So Batman's like, I gotta go. If Anti-Monitor's not gonna leave, and we have no idea how to stop him, then I need to go into like the depths of the multiverse to find the answer.
Okay.
And Green Lantern's like, and since I know my way through space, I'm gonna come with you. And it's like, that's what he says out loud, but clearly he's like, I don't trust you with this chair. And like, I think you're losing it, so I'm gonna make sure you're okay. And Jesse's like, should I come with you? And he's like, no. So then,
Stay here, Power Ring.
right. So then Scott and the Justice League chain Metron to a prison within the Rock of Eternity, where of course Shazam's base is. That's where they are.
Okay.
They like chose
where
to
they
regroup
escaped
at the Rock of
to-
Eternity.
yeah.
And so now Metron is stranded at the Rock of Eternity with a cool like device that Mr. Miracle built that keeps him from leaving.
All
The
right.
bathroom is too far away.
Yeah, I mean, there is no bathroom. I don't know if like he's, Metron, does he have a sphincter? Who knows? The point is, he is seemingly trapped, but then he's like,
Of course, his sphincter. The chair is his toilet.
yeah, but it's true. But once they leave, he's like, nah, and you're like, all right, Metron, shut up. So the Parademon swirl when Darkseid arrives to face against the Anti-Monitor. GL and Batman go to the crime city at Earth and find it's destroyed.
Okay.
The chair led them there,
Yeah, I see. Batman's kind of letting it.
like guide him.
Yeah. All right.
So they go there and they find it, it's wrecked, and they're like, okay, so this is where it came from. Like, this is where the crime syndicate came from. Maybe they have some key to the Anti-Monitor's schemes. What's the Anti-Monitor really want to do besides kill Darkseid?
Right. Maybe we can find some evidence here.
Yeah, I'll analyze it with my chair.
All
So,
right.
so Darkseid, while he's battling the Anti-Monitor, like storms are conjured and parademons are killing people and attacking things and swirling around them. It's just general chaos. It's
Right.
dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. So,
Where is this physically happening on
in a
Earth?
city.
Yeah, that's happening in the city.
Yep.
A city.
At ground zero of a city. I don't remember which city it is, and it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, we know it's not Gotham.
It's not
'cause
Gotham.
Batman left.
It's not Gotham. It's not Metropolis. That's
Okay.
all we know. So they fight.
Yeah.
Darkseid's like, screw this. I'm summoning the Black Racer, which is something he did in Final Crisis, but these guys don't know that, and I don't think Darkseid does either. But the readers who are enjoying this definitely read that, and so this is a reference for them. So
Right.
Black Racer shows up, and then Darkseid and the Anti-Monitor fight, and while they're battling, the Black Racer shows up, but the Black Racer can't affect anything until it has a host. It's like, it clearly has a physical body, but like it's
Right.
more like a state of mind, and it needs to like get attached to an entity
Okay.
that can facilitate its whims. And by the way, whenever the Black Racer shows up, it has to claim a life. It can't be like, oh, you got to reschedule? Okay, cool, I'll come back next Thursday. No, if I'm here, something is coming with me.
Okay.
I take a soul.
I have to kill somebody.
Bingo. So it finds Flash, it attaches to him, Flash becomes the god of death, herp-a-derp, he's cool looking, I guess. So Darkseid conjures the Black Racer to kill the Anti-Monitor.
Right.
But then the Anti-Monitor is like, oh, no, you don't. So then he forces the Black Racer to bond with the Flash,
Oh.
and then sends the Flash at Darkseid, and then the Black Racer Flash, or the god of death, hits Darkseid as the Anti-Monitor blasts Darkseid with a lethal dosage of awesome.
He says the anti-life equation
Is in my veins.
is in my veins.
Yes, it is.
So he kills him with the anti-life equation?
Precisely.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no. Didn't you know that you can weaponize the anti-life equation into cool beams?
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Great.
Well, because when Mobius first clawed his way out of wherever he came from, he came in contact with the anti-life equation, and like it, and
Some
it's
piece of it imprinted onto him.
and made him into the Anti-Monitor.
Well, it's a
Oh.
lot better than trying to write out a math equation, have people read it, and then they die.
Right.
Like, that's hard
Right.
to draw.
It is hard to draw, but they
It's
did
pretty
manage to
boring.
do it in Final Crisis.
So it's not so much an equation as like a power.
Bingo.
Like the Phoenix or something.
Yeah. Except,
So he wasn't
thankfully,
the anti-monitor, he was just a dude, and then
Well-
he became the anti-monitor when like he got like infested
with the anti-life equation.
Yeah, but he
That's
was
what they're
always-
retconning him to be.
Right.
Or
what he
they're
is
just,
now.
oh no, that's New 52 Anti-Monitor,
Right.
who is directly connected to the original Anti-Monitor because we make a double-page splash reference to the Anti-Monitor
Right.
and his role in Crisis on Infinite fucking Earths.
So you're deliberately saying that that happened,
Right. But
you're
also
showing
that
an
things
anti-monitor
are
that's
different.
totally different.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
So the Darkseid war is
but the
over.
war he started will continue.
That's right. And that's why I was like, Darkseid War, he dies at the fucking first fight. Like, literally, they fight, and then he dies. By the way, he also, when he dies, Shazam gets new powers.
Where did those come from?
Oh my God.
Other gods.
What?
Like, there were other gods.
and is like timing coincidental?
No,
or?
it was like the shuffling loose of Darkseid and his energies unlock these new
some
abilities.
piece of him then imprints on.
No, there's no imprinting.
I see.
I see this is drawn by a different person now.
Oh, yeah. Then they get Francis Manapul to do this so that, like, Jason Fabok can catch up and finish the rest of the book. Which is fair because the art is still amazing and very different, so you're getting something. It's not like you're just getting somebody who's, like, pretending to do Jason Fabok style. You're getting something very different, but also still really cool.
It'd be amazing if when Darkseid dies, it affects the entire universe somehow.
Yeah.
And, like, that affects the art change.
I like, you know what? You can think of it that way as you're reading it because it's kind of cool.
So, well, I thought I figured something out, but then I'm like, wait, no. So Shazam becomes a god because Darkseid just stopped being a god.
Right.
So like the universe or whatever is like, oh, there's a new one.
Yeah.
We're gonna replace him.
And it infuses
That's
him
the
with
same
powers from
thing.
other gods, and it makes him the god of gods.
Oh. So a similar thing happened when Metron
Yeah.
got out, lost his chair.
Oh, yeah.
Batman becomes a god. But like, what god like became not a god when Superman became a god? Or they didn't do that with him.
They didn't do that with him.
Oh.
They just made him a jerk.
Oh. All right. So sometimes they become gods
Yeah,
because
sometimes they
someone
replace
else stopped
or
being a
supplant
god
someone,
or
yeah.
was killed.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes they just become one for no reason.
That's right.
Well, I mean, Superman was always a god
Right.
among men.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
Okay.
Anyway, so the ripple
Orion's all
effect,
sad.
everyone's sad or at least affected by the death of Darkseid. It makes everyone over on Apocalypse like freak out.
Okay.
Lex Luthor is stripped of his armor by Superman, and then Superman goes to Earth and rejoins the Justice League. But he's also like, I'm the god of strength now. F you. I'm gonna go like be a jerk because he's also inverted in personality. So
I'm
he's
the
not
god of
altruistic.
jocks.
Yeah. I'm the jock of strength. So so Superman strips Lex of his armor and then leaves him on Apocalypse, and he's like, never come back. Stay here. So then
Why did you just
Run
kill
away.
him?
why didn't he just kill him?
return.
Yeah, he basically scars it up. Why doesn't he just kill him? Because we need Lex Luthor in the book. So
Yeah, this new Superman would have no problem with that.
I completely agree.
Well, except no, there's some piece of Superman still left.
Well, yeah, and I mean he needs that in order to come back from it, but
Yeah.
whatever. So
And don't worry, we'll forgive all of his transgressions while he's in this negative state.
yeah, why not?
Well, it's not his fault.
He saved the world. He gets a pass. So Batman and GL go to the source of Mobius / Anti-Monitor.
Wow, his chair got massive.
Yeah, Manipul interprets it a little differently than Fabok. So as a consequence of Darkseid's demise, these like hordes that Darkseid had originally given agency to, like, oh, you do this, 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 and this, they are just off the reservation and freaking out.
Right.
And some of these horrible beings are headed towards like the greatest light in the universe, which is Oa. And so they're heading there, and Batman tells GL, like, I'm gonna go back to Gotham and use my cool chair to like fix all the problems there. You should go to Oa and like stop it from being destroyed by all these like crazy monsters.
Okay.
Good luck! And then they both leave.
Okay.
Lex is kidnapped by like people who don't want to be on Apocalypse but are like freedom fighters there, and they're like, you're a man from Earth, and there's a prophecy that says that a man from Earth, from a city called Metropolis, would come to Apocalypse, and when Darkseid died, he would like save everything and change everything. Are you that guy? And Lex's like, yeah, obviously.
This
Yes.
sucks.
Yes,
So
I am.
Then they go,
Oh, you're a man. How can you tell? You're different from us. How?
well, no, they know what men are. It's just like, you're a man from Earth.
from Earth. Yeah.
So anyway, it's great because they don't foist him onto their shoulders and go like, oh, say hey. They go like, well, let's see if you're full of it or not. So they zap him and then they hook him up to machines that then infuse Lex Luthor physically with the Omega effect
Oh.
to see if he is truly the prophecy that they foretold.
Okay.
So then Lex gets infused with the Omega effect and becomes, for all intents and purposes, a type of Darkseid. And then he becomes the god of Apocalypse. But at first you're like, oh crap, so like they killed Darkseid, but Lex will become the new Darkseid, and then he'll be like a cool hodgepodge of those characters. Since they haven't done anything interesting or good with Darkseid since the New 52 started, I guess why not?
Sure.
But no, they have other plans for Darkseid.
Damn.
Big Barda shows up to help Mr. Miracle and the Justice League fight against the remaining hordes that were with Darkseid before he died, including his son Calabac and whatnot. And so they're kicking the crap at people. Barda's like, hey, lover, let's do this. And Mr. Miracle's like, whoa, it's a secret. Shh. And then they make out. And everyone's like, whoa, that's
Honey,
that's
not
pretty
here.
hot. Yeah, not here. Everyone will know. Metron, of course, freed himself from the shackles that Mr. Miracle himself made, which doesn't make any sense, but whatever. So Metron is kind of like wandering around the Rock of Eternity.
Is he having a hard time walking?
Yeah, because
Really ought to.
he hasn't.
Oh, God.
He definitely has like a weird stance, and he's like holding the wall. Maybe he hasn't stood in a long time.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
would
I kind
buy
of got
it.
my legs back.
Nice
Yeah,
detail.
my
land
land
legs.
legs. Yeah. So the Justice League reasons that like because the Anti-Monitor was last on the Crime Syndicate's Earth, that maybe the Crime Syndicate who were defeated and imprisoned on Earth here after the Forever Evil event, maybe they know what the Anti-Monitor is up to. The Anti-Monitor goes into kind of like a weird like stasis field, and then it expels the anti-life equation into a ball that then Grail takes and then infuses into herself. So now the Anti-Monitor is Mobius, who's still powerful, don't get me wrong, but Grail now has the anti-life equation at her beck and call, and she can use it as a power. So then, as a result, she becomes her own god. She becomes the goddess of the anti-life. So the Justice League is like, well, we gotta go get the Crime Syndicate and ask them what's going on. And Steve Trevor is like, oh, I'm useful now. Hello. I know that they're held in a super secret facility that you can't get into and don't know where it is.
Well,
So
with
then-
the Justice League, of course we
Tell
can get
us,
to
Steve.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then
Okay.
he does, and they bring Scott so Scott can like break them in.
it. Okay.
I see Batman was looking at a lot of pictures in his mind of the Joker.
Yeah, well, he's like, because the whole reveal, and we've talked about this before, is that the reveal of the Joker's true name is the Mobius chair doesn't answer. He says there are 3 of them.
Oh, right.
So like, and that's the big reveal at the end of the story. But we talked about that reveal before. So
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But so Batman is investigating like what that means because I guess the chair won't tell him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tell me.
Okay, what is each of their names then?
No, I'm going to riddle.
That's not how I work.
Even
For
though
some
sometimes
reason.
it is.
It's okay. It's like kind of complicated.
Right.
So I can't really just say it.
No. Oh, here are all the tie-ins.
Great.
I don't need that.
Yeah.
So, the tie-ins are that, each of them have like their own book. They call them the gods of such and such, and they all do their own things.
How do they have time to have
Right?
their own separate adventure in the middle of all this?
Because that's $20. Long and the short of it is, Mr. Miracle breaks into Ultraman's cell, and he's like, "Okay, tell us what the Anti-Monitor wants. What does he want?" And he's like, "He wants to kill everyone. He wants to kill everything."
Oh.
Well, I should have done that with the end-of-life equation when he had it.
I know, but he didn't. So then Grail is like, okay, in order for me to have what I want and to win, I need Steve Trevor. Because there's this like prophecy, and it involves the first man to have ever set foot on Paradise Island.
Okay.
And so they need to grab Steve Trevor.
Doesn't she have what she wants? She killed Darkseid.
Yeah, but apparently she has
more.
She has more.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened to Marina? Is she like, yay, Darkseid's dead. I won.
Yeah, but she's also like, at what cost?
Okay.
She also doesn't want Grail to like fall.
Okay. So she's like, okay, good. Now stop.
Yeah. She's not even there.
Right.
She doesn't
Well,
show up to the fight.
Ugh.
So basically the Justice League reunites the Crime Syndicate, and once they are reunited, like everything goes to shit. Like when Power Ring / Jessica Cruz is messing around in Bella Reef prison with Cyborg, like the Ring feels the other Crime Syndicate members, and it's like, oh, okay, and it just takes over her, and so she becomes like Volthoom, the entity that powers Power Ring.
With their powers combined,
They can become the Crime Syndicate again.
Volthoom is activated.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And Volthoom helps to facilitate Cyborg to be infected with Grid, who is the Crime Syndicate version of Cyborg. And so Cyborg is corrupted, and he becomes Grid. And so like everything's getting
Becomes
corrupted and
Grid.
switched. Yeah.
So Grid is not a physical guy of his own.
No, it's more like an AI.
Ah, okay.
And when Volthoom frees Superwoman, it is revealed that she's not just pregnant, she's very pregnant.
Yeah. And at noon tomorrow, she gets shipped
out.
But there's big, horrible plans for Superwoman's baby, who, of course, the implication is that like it could have been Owlman or Alexander Luthor Jr., who in Forever Evil had taken over the powers of the Crime Syndicate Earth version of Shazam.
Okay.
It was like Mazaj. I think that's how you say it. It's the backwards of Shazam.
that
Oh,
was
he
happening-
died
Okay.
in the Forever Evil story. But she still got the baby here.
So either one of them could have banged her.
Yeah, well, they
don't
both
know.
did, but
They
I
both
think
did, but-
I think it's Alexander Luthor Jr.'s.
Okay.
No, it's both of theirs.
Right.
It's all of
It's
them.
like cats, where their DNA just like it hits each anyway. Because cats can have like multiple fathers.
Yikes.
That's why they have like that's why you can have like a litter of cats that all have different colors.
Huh.
Anyway, so Batman's like, crap. My chair's telling me that like everything's going to shit. We need to regroup because Mobius has returned and he looks like this.
I asked the chair if everything was going to shit, and it was like, yes.
It totally is.
Damn
Mobius
it.
just looks like himself now.
Yeah. He looks like what they want him to look like because nobody knew what Mobius looked like because he invented him for the story.
There, now
there
I
was no such
now
thing
my
as
skin
Mobius.
is healed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the anti-life equation made me gross. And
Bingo.
Now it's gone, so I'm not gross anymore.
Uh-huh.
I'm evil, but not gross.
Yeah. So Owlman shows up and he's like, hey, I see that like you're finally springing my friends. Let's do this.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So the Crime Syndicate is
So now
like,
you have to deal with the crime syndicate again.
yep. So the Justice League and the Crime Syndicate kind of team up because they're like,
Well, we don't want everything to die.
yes.
Yeah.
This sucks.
But
There are only
Owlman
4
should,
tie-ins in
right?
here.
Yeah.
It's not everybody. It's just a couple.
It's just the ones that would sell. So
I can't believe Wonder Woman doesn't get a god power.
no, because Wonder Woman's kind of like the rock that keeps everything together. This is all told kind of from her perspective. She's mostly the narrator of the entire series.
Oh.
So the Justice League go to face Mobius. Mobius like kicks Batman's ass and is like, "Get the hell out of my chair, Batman."
You're gonna leave weird lumps in it. You've ruined it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So then,
My ass is never gonna conform to this now.
right. So Jesse Cruz, now Volthoom / Power Ring, and Hal Jordan are like fighting against the hordes that that Mobius has converted into monsters and parademons and whatnot. But like, there's too many of them. There's so many. But thankfully, on his way back from Oa, Hal told the Green Lantern Corps that shit was going down. So the Green Lantern Corps shows up too,
Okay.
and it's totally awesome,
Sure.
I guess.
Everyone's got rings. Rings everywhere.
Yeah.
Is that from people dying?
Yes.
The rings are. Oh wow.
Oh yeah. No, Mobius is too powerful. He's killing Green Lanterns left and right.
Oh,
jeez.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank God. We needed to clear the ranks out.
So then
It
Grail.
happened to the Green Lanterns a lot.
Exactly. So Grail grabs Steve Trevor while everyone's distracted. Mobius kills Ultraman, and then Lex Luthor shows up with the Omega effect within him and his now commanding army of parademons.
Okay.
And he's like, "Let's do this."
So
Sure.
the freedom fighters on Apocalypse gave him this Omega
Effect.
power
Yeah.
effect.
To make him like into the new leader of Apocalypse.
Right. But it wasn't so that they could be free.
I guess not.
Eventually.
so
He was
they-
just like, cool. All the power demons are mine. I'm just gonna attack Superman.
Yeah. I mean,
You know, they just want to be led by somebody different and new, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. There's freedom from the last guy so that we could be under the thumb of a new guy.
Sure.
Who will
Maybe
treat
he's
us
less of a
better.
dick. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
He's not.
Look,
Damn
I
it.
gotta
There
be
should a
led by
crossover.
somebody.
There's gotta be a crossover where Doctor Doom goes there. I will be your leader.
Dr. Doom would love Apocalypse. Are you kidding me? There's a subplot in which like Jessica Cruz's personality is within the ring because Volthoom's running everything, and what turns out is within the power of the ring from Power Ring is like all the souls of everyone that Volthoom's corrupted and shit. They're all stuck in there, and also
hey.
earlier Cyborg tried to hack the ring, and so he like when Grid took over Cyborg.
That's where Cyborg goes.
That's where Cyborg goes. He gets stuck in the ring too. So
It's like, oh, hey, you're in here too?
yeah, let's go.
Okay.
So
Hey, break me out.
exactly. So Jessie has to kind of like find her inner strength because she's afraid of everything. That's the whole point. That's why it's like ironic that she would be even associated with the Green Lanterns because like she actually feels great fear and
I see.
you know,
She could never be a Green Lantern, but she can get the power.
Well,
of a Green Lantern
because the
type
power
thing.
ring goes to people who have fear.
Bingo.
Because it's the opposite, because it's from Earth 3.
That's right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool,
Yeah.
I guess. All right.
So-
is this?
This is a flashback that Grail has that explains like where she comes from and everything and what her mom's whole plan was.
I see.
now she's got to train.
We didn't
And now
really
she's
know
like,
that.
no, like the Amazons had the mission of killing Darkseid. My mom wouldn't abandon the mission that they gave me, so I was going to fulfill it, and that's why I'm here.
Amazons were gonna kill Darkseid.
Well, the Amazons are connected. That's why Darkseid like slept with one of them to try and like corrupt them.
Yeah, they go way back, Amazons and Darkseid.
But it turns out that like the real reason why they were going to kill her, or one of the major reasons why they were going to kill Minerva, is that her name?
Marina.
Marina. One of the main reasons why they're going to kill Marina is because Marina saw something she shouldn't have. When she was running away with her baby, with Grail, she saw that Hippolyta gave birth to 2 babies.
Oh.
Diana and Jason. And that Jason is the first man to have set foot on Paradise Island. But Grail doesn't know that. Jason is Diana's retcon twin brother.
What?
Oh, no, yes. But don't worry, because
We're adding another character at this point?
Yeah, but he doesn't show up.
Oh.
It's just that
That's setting up
Grail
something
thinks that Steve Trevor's the first man to have set foot on Paradise Island, so she steals him because she thinks that like the thing that she needs him to do can be facilitated because he's the first man to have set on. But it turns out no, he's not.
I see.
It was a Jason instead.
Yeah.
Is this the Argonauts, Jason?
I mean, I'm sure it's like a reference to it.
Yeah. Okay.
But like, well, they're like, maybe he died. Like, they don't even know anything about him. Like, Diana finds out later on that like she had a brother, and she's like, is he buried on the island or is he living out there somewhere? Spoilers, he's out there. So
he should be dead. They should have been like, oh no, a boy.
Yeah, more or less.
Bury him.
But they didn't do that.
They didn't.
Well, Hippolyta was the queen of the Amazons. She gets a little pull. So
what, did she give birth by herself?
No, she has midwives and stuff. It's just that she's like, hey, you have to listen to everything I say. And
that we keep him.
Right.
Yeah.
So then Grail is like, okay, like I have given the anti-life equation to Steve Trevor, and Steve Trevor has like this prophecy attached to him. Like he can save or destroy the Earth, so like everything's kind of hinged on him and the power I gave him. And he listens to me. Like he's under my kind of like wiles. So she sicks Steve on the Justice League. Steve, there's a little bit of Steve inside of him. So when he fights Diana, she's like, come on, Steve, fight. He's like, I can't. You got to kill me.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
Pathos.
I know. She doesn't kill him. It's nice. But
yeah, that's nice.
You know, but Lex fights against Steve while everybody else is just trying to get their bearings. Superwoman picks up the baby, her son now, and she shouts out Mazaj or Mazahaz, which is the power that the father of her child had. Lightning strikes it, and the baby is infused with like the power of like this Crime Syndicate version of Shazam.
Right, so that's how we get Crime Syndicate Shazam back.
Yeah, well, she's like, I can wield him as a weapon now.
Okay.
But then
I just gotta point my baby at stuff.
Bingo. So then,
Cry!
But then, Grail blasts Superwoman with her Omega beams, killing her. Then she picks up the baby. She shouts Mazah with the baby again and focuses the baby, and the baby like fires a bolt of energy at the Black Racer, which then separates Barry and the Black Racer. And now the Black Racer's
How
like,
is it that other people can
like wield this power and know how it works? I don't know.
They just need that. They're like, oh, how do we get Black Racer out of?
Not only that, but like,
Flash. We need
how
that
do they
to
call
happen.
down the lightning? They're not the powerful ones.
No. Yeah. Shazam should be the one to call down lightning and wield it. The baby should be the one who has to say the name in order to make it work.
Well, that's how Shazam works.
But this is Mazah.
I can't hold Shazam's hand and yell his name and have lightning strike him.
No, but you could yell. You could do that with Mazah.
Yeah, but you can do that with Mazah's.
Something.
Doesn't
he can
matter.
work however the right.
Well,
Jeff Johns wants it
she
to.
does say, based on what Jeff Johns says, that the baby has the ability to absorb energy of the gods.
Okay.
So she's going to use that. But then, of course, like, she dies. And then Grail grabs the baby, separates the Black Racer from Barry. The Black Racer's like, I'm free! Barry, I'm going to kill you! So then the Black Racer chases Flash around.
Darkseid, you don't have to kill me.
That was yesterday. I'm here another day. I got to kill another guy. So
sorry, it's on my sheet.
Or Mobius kind of killed Darkseid.
Yeah.
Doesn't count. I got to kill this guy, or I just want to.
Doesn't matter. It's how Flash isn't gonna do anything.
Right, he's got to deal with the Black Racer.
I'm being chased by the Black Racer.
Yes. Yeah. So Victor and Jesse, who are stuck in the Volthoom power ring battery thing, Vic's trying to hack it as Cyborg.
Is he still Cyborg?
Well, his consciousness is in there, so he's just a full dude. But he has the cyborg powers because it's his consciousness. So he hacks the power battery, and Jesse's like, ooh, I have an idea. Send me back. So then Jesse takes over her own body, because Volthoom took it over, and she jumps in the way of the Black Racer, and so the Black Racer takes her life and is there satisfied and leaves.
Oh, wow. So she's dead?
So she dies.
Oh.
But Black Racer takes a soul when he kills people.
Sure.
So the reveal is that he took Volthoom's soul. So now Volthoom is out of the picture. We don't have to worry about Volthoom anymore.
Volthoom's soul was in her body.
Yes, exactly. So then she didn't really die. Anyway.
I'm only allowed to take one. I would have taken both of you.
Yeah.
How does he decide which one to...
Well, he didn't. I don't think he had a choice. I think like the way that Jesse manipulated it and the way that Vic...
She like pushed Volthoom's soul
in
front
the
of
way.
Her, metaphysically.
Sure. Or
Well, it's
Vic...
because she has great will.
Or yeah, exactly.
She willed that to
She
happen.
did. And
Instead of
also
him to
Vic
take
like
her
manipulated
soul.
the battery, so maybe that also helped. Also,
yeah,
they
he
used
hacked it.
Yeah.
He hacked it so that would happen.
While they were fighting Mobius, Superman. You remember how Superman was all bad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget that New 52 Superman has a superpower where he can do a solar flare.
Yeah, he does the flare power.
Yeah, and the solar flare will
Solar flare.
render him powerless for 24 hours. So what Superman winds up doing is while they're fighting Mobius before they finally just kill him, he uses the solar flare at Mobius, which hurts him, but then expels all the apocalypse energy out of him, so he's Superman again. So he's safe.
I see. Does he lose
Except-
all his powers for 24 hours at least?
No.
I see.
Well, because he's Superman, that was all apocalypse energy. That wasn't solar energy from Earth.
But he was losing solar energy anyway by being on Apocalypse.
Yeah,
but
but
now
now
he's
he's
on
not there.
Earth.
He's on Earth.
So he's got recharged.
But-
even
But
though
he's
it's
been
like
negative
super
the whole
dark,
time.
so like
But the exposure to that energy and the subsequent expulsion of that energy basically irradiates and hurts Superman's cells such that he is now poisoned and will die. That's a plot they deal with for the rest of the New 52, is that
from the
Superman's...
Apocalypse stuff.
Energy.
Yeah, from the
Okay.
energy of Apocalypse. So Superman is now
slowly dying.
slowly dying.
I like that she just keeps grabbing the baby and yelling Mazas.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
she gotta keep
Doing it over
zapping
and
this
over.
power
yeah,
at
she's
him.
spamming that power. It's
Uh-huh.
not cool.
So then she winds up like...
Baby, baby, baby.
Yep. So then she uses the Mazas method, the baby method,
Yeah.
to pull the anti-life equation out of Steve Trevor into the baby, making Darkseid back.
What? What?
So
Why?
Now, so Darkseid's back.
No.
Mm-hmm.
What?
But because
The baby is now.
a full-grown
Darkseid?
adult Darkseid, yes.
Why is it Darkseid at all? The anti-life equation wasn't Darkseid.
So the
Nor
baby's
was that baby
Darkseid,
Darkseid.
and now Darkseid's back, and it has to listen to Grail. So Darkseid's like attacking everybody and kicking ass and taking names. Batman, of course, like jumped back on the Mobius chair and took it over again.
No one was watching.
Nobody's
yeah?
watching, so Batman's still the god of knowledge. Batman like can't kind of free himself from the chair. Turns out he couldn't get up because of the corrupting power of the Mobius chair.
Oh.
And Hal's like, I've got it, my lantern ring. So he gives Batman his lantern ring to help summon some willpower to free himself from the Mobius chair.
Why does
The
he want to
ring
free
doesn't
himself from the Mobius
grant
chair?
you willpower.
Well, it does now, and it does. So
New 52 ring.
yeah, so which is exactly like the pre-New 52 ring, because Jeff Johns wrote both of those things. So Owlman jumps into the Mobius chair while Batman's getting his bearings.
Oh, yeah.
Cyborg uploads Grid from himself into the Mobius chair. So now Grid's part of the Mobius chair. Grid being the evil
Yeah.
crime syndicate cyborg.
Yeah.
So now Vic can jump back into his body and be Cyborg again.
Okay.
And Owlman's like, bye, and he teleports out of there.
Right, we're going to deal with him later.
Yeah. Marina and Wonder Woman face off, and she's like, hey, apparently I'm a really bad mom. Because, like, I taught her to start a war with Darkseid, but, like, what I didn't realize was that, like, once she has a taste for war, she's never going to stop.
Uh-huh.
And
I didn't really
so-
tell her what to do after that.
Uh-huh.
So, whoops.
Yeah. So then, basically, Wonder Woman straps Grail up in her lasso of truth
Yeah.
to make her like face reality, and then Marina grabs her and says like, this is all my fault, you have to like undo what I've unleashed. And so she says, open your eyes and end this with a sacrifice. And so she like points Grail's head at her abdomen, and then Grail blasts the Omega beams from her through, killing Marina, at Darkseid, which then seemingly kills him, but it doesn't. He actually reverts back to being a baby. So you have a Darkseid baby. It's literally just Darkseid, but a baby. And Grail takes the baby, and she's like, I will raise you better than you were. Spoilers, she doesn't, and he becomes Darkseid. but
Okay.
that's how everything wraps
That's
up.
how it wraps up in a neat little...
Package.
So thank God there's
And
a Darkseid baby still.
At the which Batman actually winds up using in another event, which we'll talk about in the future. Because of the deaths of a bunch of lanterns, they need like more lanterns. So like a ring finds Jessica Cruz, and it's like, you were able to overcome great fear. We have chosen you, and she becomes an official Green Lantern.
Oh. Okay.
Instead of stealing one.
Right.
Right.
And so Lex goes back to Apocalypse, and they build him rad new armor, which he has modeled to look like what will eventually become the superior Superman armor when he becomes Superman later on.
Okay.
So the armor that he wields later on when Superman dies,
This is where
and
that comes from.
That's where it comes from.
It so ought to be an L.
It's not because he's like, I'm Superman.
No, I want to be Superman.
Exactly.
But I don't want to be Superman. I want to be Lex Luthor, better than Superman.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm replacing.
Ah,
People won't know that I'm being better than Superman if I don't have the S. But that I'm specifically superior Superman.
Right. So then, basically, so those revelations I mentioned. So like at the end of it, they wrap up. They're like, so Wonder Woman has a twin brother. Batman has 3 Jokers. Darkseid's a baby. Shazam has cool new powers that no one's going to use in any stories. Lex Luthor rules Apocalypse in cool new Superman-esque armor that is made by Apocalyptians. It's like kind of like New Genesis technology.
Yeah.
He leaves and eventually just comes back. And then we meet up with Owlman and Metron on the moon.
On the moon.
Oh yeah, what happened to Metron?
Yeah, Metron leaves the Rock of Eternity and he just like does what he wants. And because I guess he's kind of a new god, even though he originally was just a guy, he can like live on the moon with like his own personal atmosphere or whatever.
How did he get to the moon?
Yeah, right. I assume he uses one of the convenient doorways within the Rock of Eternity to get there. But the point is, Owlman and Metron face off, and Metron's like, Batman couldn't figure this chair out. You should get off and let me have it. And Owlman's like, I'm smarter than Batman. Like, I'm better at this than him. And I can open my mind up to all the secrets of the known universe. In fact, now I know the true secrets of the universe, and oh shit! And then they both are vaporized by Dr. Manhattan.
Oh, that's where that happens.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Huh. Oh. I see. So, when writing this book, Jeff Jones was like, oh, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. That's why I'm going to make this book, like, ridiculous.
Yeah, that it's going to be, like,
arbitrary.
convoluted and arbitrary, and all these characters will be, like, people we recognize, but would be twisted, weirdo versions of them. Because I'm going to undo it all.
That had to have been the plan the whole time, because he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I can do whatever I want because none of it matters.
Right, Dr. Manhattan. Poof.
Right.
It doesn't show Dr. Manhattan.
Right.
And we, the reader, back then were like, what's that?
Yeah, what does
happened?
that happen?
But then once we know it's Dr. Manhattan, we're like, oh my God. Because then, of course, in DC Rebirth, like, all the mistakes of the New 52 start getting obliterated. Annoying characters that could see the future and stuff like Pandora, poof. And they get obliterated the way Dr. Manhattan kills people in Watchmen.
Right. Right.
So, there you go.
Yes.
The Darkseid War is a convoluted mess that like isn't really as convoluted as it sounds. If you're explaining it out loud in linear fashion, it's going to sound convoluted. But like the
Right.
reality is like everybody has their own agendas.
Yep.
Darkseid is a pawn, even though he's normally not.
Yep.
And at the end of it, nothing really changes. This is setting up Rebirth. And now Rebirth is irrelevant.
Sweet. So it's like doubly irrelevant.
Yes.
So at the point it was written, it was already being replaced or planned to be
But
replaced.
nobody knew it when they were reading it, so they're like, okay,
Right.
cool. All right. So how does this fit? How does Nix Otan fit in? Where does Yuga Khan show up? How do we sew all these together? And it's like the answer is they're not doing it. You're doing it,
Yep.
and for yourselves. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys next time with another episode. I am Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
Sorry.
I don't think you've ever ended the show saying sorry.
Oh, I know I have.
They should call it like the War of the Gods or something.
I know!
Since they're trying to push this God thing.
They're pushing the Darkseid thing. He's in 8 collected panels. Like,
Yeah, that's
He
weird.
bookends it. That's it.
yeah.
Or they should call it the Anti-Monitor War, since he's in
no,
the
'cause
entire
Darkseid
thing.
sells.
How about the Mobius War?
The
Yeah.
Mobius War.
Mobius War, because it never fucking ends.
And it was initiated and carried out by Mobius. Or the, what's her name? Fucking
Oh, the Grail War.
the Grail War.
I mean, that's funny.
Yeah. The War for the Grail.
the War of the Grail.
Yeah.
Or-
No, I'm...
Anything.
Listen, you're preaching to the choir, guys.
Yeah.